Let's go. Oh, good morning. Welcome back. Yesterday was a gorgeous day, as you guys know from the last video. And today, it's still a little bit chilly, but as you can see, there's not a lot of snow left. However, we're apparently in for a couple inches later this afternoon and overnight. And I remember driving in here, one very important task I've had on my to-do list for about 2 years that I just keep forgetting about until I come around this driveway, right around this corner. I'm not sure if the grade or the slope of the land shows up well in the camera, but generally speaking, the land slopes from the north, slopes all the way down to the lake. Which means every time I come around this corner in the wintertime, the truck or the cars slide sideways. Because no matter how slow you're going, you're on a slippery surface and the momentum in the slope goes this way and ends up right at this bass tree. And I almost did this again. And again, I went through the whole summer and totally forgot to take it out. And you folks know that I'm not a big fan of cutting down trees just for the sake of cutting down trees. This basswood has been dying for years. In fact, on a regular basis, I come around the driveway and there are limbs down on the ground. And you can see again this summer that there are less and less limbs carrying leaves anymore. And if you're not sure if the tree's had the biscuit, I think it's pretty clear this tree has definitely got to go. So as usual, it's always better to take the tree down on your own terms as opposed to waiting until it falls on its own. I don't believe, based on the height of it, that it's going to hit the cottage if it falls, but it's definitely going to hit the truck and may hit some other things that I may have around the property, including my boat if it went that way. So we'll take advantage of this brief intermission from the snow. We'll take it down, we'll block it up, get it on the trailer and get it out of here. I hope you'll stick around today. Cheers. If I may offer, if you're someone like myself that's kind of new or in your formative years of learning and practicing and gaining experience on using a chainsaw or falling trees, one of the most important considerations I've learned before falling a tree is the wind. Today's a great day for doing this, which is why we all jumped to it this morning, because as you can see, it's one of those few days at this time of year where there's no wind whatsoever in the air. And remember, it's not about the wind you feel on your face. It's about how much wind is up there in the canopy, 60, 70, 80 feet high. It's taking a few minutes to watch the very treetops of your forest to see how hard or how much they're swinging back and forth. Because remember, if you've got a forested property, it's highly likely that wherever you're standing, you're largely sheltered from the wind because of the forest. So you always want to look up top. You want to see how still that canopy is before you decide to cut. Because in my own short experience, the wind down here can be very, very different than the wind up there. I hope that's helpful. Let's get back to cutting. Hey, just a quick time out for you new property owners, because I know there are so many of you here in the community, whether you just purchased your property this year or within the last few years. If I may make a suggestion to you, I'd highly recommend that you spend some time and get familiar with your local municipal bylaws. That's your local laws at a county level or here at a municipal level. They look after things such as telling you where you can and cannot build on the property, setbacks from your property lines, and various different things like that that are super important to know before you do something accidentally that you maybe shouldn't have done. Of today's significance, the shoreline. Here we've got some pretty stringent and restrictive shoreline requirements. They often refer to it as a shoreline allowance. And what those laws tell you is they will outline what you are and are not allowed to do at your shoreline and within a specific distance beyond your shoreline. So for example, if that bass tree way back there was actually standing somewhere around here, I'd literally have to apply for a permit to get approval to take that tree down. That means I have to pay to submit a permit application requesting approval to take the tree down. Within a period of time, probably a few weeks, they'll send somebody out, an inspector. He'll look at the tree and he'll either approve it and allow me to take it down, or he'll deny it and refuse me the approval to take it down, which means I can't. True. I hope that's helpful for you good folks. And yeah, that's ice behind me on the lake. Wait a minute. That's no still. What, are you hanging out with Husky Bob lately? All right, fire it up, my friend. Well, that was a fun morning, eh? I think I'll leave that there till next spring because it's out of the way and I don't have to worry about it. But hey, we got her down pretty easy. Although it's basswood, it still burns. So Guy's pretty happy to have it. After I clean up here a little bit, I'm gonna head back over to Guy's and get the grapple on top of that trailer and load them out onto the pile, out by the splitter, and we'll get at it at some point. Every time I drop a tree, it's another learning experience. I'm pretty sure the reason that tree hung so long before I finally got it to fall with the wedges is because it was probably weighted this way or some other way than I was trying to drop it. Trouble is, I don't have the experience yet to make a tree fall the way I want it to fall. We basically try to read it as best we can with the weight up top and try to figure out where it wants to fall. And we weren't really sure if it wanted to go that way or the way I dropped it. So I think that's why it kept sitting there. And I had to keep hammering the wedges in to kind of make it go over there. But either way, worked out okay. Got some more wood out of the stump. Because of where I am on the corner, I just have to take a look around here. We've got a lot of rocks, but I'm gonna finish up for the day by trying to trim another 5 or 6 inches off of this stump just to get it closer to the ground without hitting any rocks. You know, the funny thing is, we kind of thought firewood season and anything to do with chainsaws for at least the foreseeable future was over. So at the end of firewood season, every year we all hang out at Guy's place. We pull our saws apart, give them a good thorough cleaning and sharpen the saws and get them ready to be put away for a while. And it didn't take long to pull them back out. Thanks again for sticking around with me today. Have a wonderful week with your families. Please be kind to each other. And I'll see you again right here. I'm Gord Potter, and you've been watching GP Outdoors. Cheers.